Aquarius. We have Nourish. I want to pull some tarot to clarify the Nourish card. Queen of Wands and Knight of Cups. So Aquarius, I feel like you are trying to take some direction, some sort of plan, and work through the bits. There's a question here. Am I doing this for myself? Am I doing it for validation? Like, are my reasonings for doing what I'm doing because I want to and it fills my soul, or am I doing it to make someone else happy, or is what I'm doing no longer making me happy? And I need to rework that. I feel like maybe we've lost sight of that. You know, you're meant to be here. You're meant to be on the ground, so to speak, doing your thing. This is what you're meant to do. But I feel like the things that you're doing, they don't exactly fill your soul. And I don't know if you've been feeling a draw towards, you know, philanthropy or volunteering. What we're doing has always been to try to fill our cup, so to speak. But are we doing it for the right reasons? Pull an enchanted map. We have Goblins and Heal the Ouch. So our ego is definitely involved in the things that we're doing, but I feel like we're not getting to the right layers. I think you even feel it. I think you recognize, and it doesn't mean that you're doing, you know, anything wrong. It just means perhaps that you've changed and your direction of where you're trying to go just needs, the steps need to be reworked. The external sources, the things that we've once done that we enjoyed, maybe we don't enjoy. Maybe it's becoming more of a chore than a hobby. Maybe you've been feeling called to do something else and it's a lot more involved or bigger than what you've done before, and maybe you're a little bit apprehensive, but there is a shift in external activities. Cosmic Dancer. We have Tap into Primal Power, Give and Receive, and Devote. I love that the Tap into Primal Power and the Queen of Wands came out, because it's really very similar. You have to reconnect with that primal power, that inside energy. You have a lot of ability to manifest and create, but I feel like we're not devoting enough time to ourselves. It's definitely something creative here. It's something else that you do that you used to love, but don't either make the time for it, don't have the time for it, but you have to rework what's going on currently because you're not nourishing your insides. And I feel like that spark is gone. You don't have the same zest. I see a lot of service to others here. It could probably be your love language. And I almost feel like that used to give you a lot of sense of accomplishment. It made you feel good to take care of others. It made you feel like you had accomplished something. Perhaps you got reassurance about who you are from how others felt about you because of what you could do for them. Now it's come to the point where you might be being taken advantage of. You might not be getting, like, something shifted to where however you saw a situation, you no longer see it that way. Turtles. Amble with contentment. Waiting rather than acting is going to be most advantageous now. This card is saying, while you have recognized the need to make whatever changes, that you need to find a place where you feel valuable, where you feel needed, where you feel like you're accomplishing something. Spirit also wants to tap into that ego energy again. We're healing the ouch. We're not just moving from one thing to another. We're moving into something that's meaningful. We have to think it through. We have to let it settle inside. We have to wrap our head around it. We really need to look deep within ourselves and make sure we're not reacting out of ego, but instead of what is for our best good. Threads of Fate. The Sovereign. Spirit is really intent on you creating something new for yourself. We have the Sovereign. We have Tap into Primal Power. We have the Queen of Wands. All of these are about restructuring. All of this fire energy is a really super powerful time, but it's one that needs proper planning. It's not something we can just run off and do. Like, we have to really, check in with ourselves, figure out where the chaos is, eliminate the chaos, bring things in that mean something to us, that motivate us, you have a lot to give. You have a lot to give yourself. You have a lot to give others, but it's not even. It's not working for you anymore. I think what started as like you being helpful has turned into something that is expected when there are other resources. The universe has got your back. I recognize that I have chosen fear and I choose again. I choose love. Through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. The presence of love will always outcast fear. Wow. So I recognize that I have chosen fear and I choose again. I choose love. The presence of love will always cast out fear. In the middle of that, we have through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. So, and the 2 moons cycles. The devote card that we pulled earlier does reflect a personal practice, a personal, whether it's a spiritual practice, an art process, meditation, however, whatever it is that you do for nourishment. That is your calling. That is what you're supposed to put your fire behind. That is what you're supposed to rework. And it needs to become a more prominent part of your life. I feel like now is the time for you to put yourself in rework your life so that you are important. I don't think you're going to stop doing what you're doing when it comes to service of others. As a matter of fact, what you do creates ripples. But I think either the way you do it or the amount of time that you give to it needs to be reallocated and to allow you to do something just for you that will reshape how you feel about yourself, what you see. And maybe because we have fear and love here, is that you might either be afraid to say, you know what, I can no longer do this anymore, but I can do this, this, and this. And that's where that planning is going to come from. Figuring out what you are capable of doing, figuring out what you are no longer willing to do or capable of doing, to allow you some more time to devote to something else that fills your soul. I don't feel like you are to the point where there's resentment, but I feel like it could be on the way, where you recognize that your whole life has turned into working around this one thing. And the way that your life is structured right now, it allows for nothing else. This was your reading for January 2023 Aquarius. I hope that you got something from it. I hope that you'll leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And remember to find something to be grateful for today.